Hello, 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 hello. We're live. It is showtime. PPM, Property Portal Marketing, live podcast today. I think we are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. So, any real estate agents out there who want to join our conversation today, please do. Please do come, leave some comments. We'll answer your questions. We'll talk about loads of stuff. We'll make it nice and funky. Yeah, I think we're going to have some fun. Of course, you all know me. It's Chris Thompson, Property Portal Marketing, and you should know Simona. If you don't, here's Simona. Hi.
Hi.
No, like we would we were just saying a minute ago that we really hope people will join us. Otherwise, it's going to be like, okay, what are people going to talk about? What are people going to say? So, if you are watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, do say hello so that we know you're here. I can see like a 0 in the top left-hand corner right now. So I'm like, please come along, please come say hello. But yeah, we'll see what happens over this live. If we don't get anyone with the next half hour, I think we'll just quit. We'll quit and we'll have to do some more marketing around it. But hopefully there'll be one or two. So yeah, good stuff. I mean, because when it's like I don't even know what we're going to talk about because the whole idea was that we'd have a load of people watching and people would ask us comments. So now I'm like, okay, now we have no comments to talk about. But the good thing is with real estate, there's always comments, always things to talk about. So
September
I was in what's that?
Yeah, September is here. So basically, after the summer, they're gonna start panicking, and they're like, oh, viewing season is coming. And
I know. But we've just got. I mean, as of like this morning, my desk is just strewn with like paperwork and notes and things that sort of people have left me over the last week and a half, because now's the time to really start ramping up any kind of marketing activity that you're doing as an agent. I mean, obviously kids have literally just gone back, so you know there's going to be people starting to fly out now for sort of viewing trips and things like that. And the hope is that it's going to be really nice and busy with lots of sales being made probably right up until, I would say, sort of middle to end of November. And you've got to be prepared for that as an agent, haven't you? You've got to, you've got to understand where the kind of the market peaks and troughs are, and you've got to take advantage of that. And it's no good doing it in a month's time; it'll be too late. You've got to start doing that now in order to reach
in a
those
month's
people.
time, everyone is thinking Christmas.
I know. Already. I know.
You go in shops, and usually, or a long time ago, I don't know.
We have one person viewing. Hello. Sorry, I got really excited. We have two people. Who's that? That's good morning. Who good? Well, it's good afternoon now, really. But that's going to be Varley, isn't it? That's going to be Varley saying good morning.
For someone.
Okay. It's somebody's watching, but I don't know who it is. But hello. Hope you're good. If you have any questions, by the way, or you'd like to participate in anything that we're talking about, obviously, please do comment, and we will happily answer your question. So no worries. Keep up the good work. Oh, Tony Reddin. Hello, Tony. So Tony is one of our clients down on the Costa del Sol. He runs a company called Come Buy With Me, which, by the way, is, I think, a great piece of marketing. If you've ever watched the program in the UK, it was called Come Dine With Me. So Tony's just gone, okay, I'm going to now be called Come Buy With Me. I think it's really, really good. It's a great marketing ploy. So yeah, good work on that, Tony. But yeah, glad you could join us. Of course, if you have any questions, anything related, XML feeds, websites, SEO, anything like that, do comment and let us know. Do ask your questions. But yeah, we were kind of in the middle of talking about peaks and troughs, weren't we? And sort of saying that if you if you really, really want to sort of take advantage of those people that are going to come out and buy, now's your time to sort of do that. People have gone back to school, or not people have gone back to school, kids have gone back to school.
No, parents came back to some free time. It's like kids are going to school finally.
I know. Finally, there's sort of that weight off your mind, isn't there? And then you can sort of move forward with really prepping up for the year. It's been a bit of a weird start to the year, I think. Certainly Q1, Q2, because we're coming into Q3 now, aren't we? So yeah, Q1 and Q2, I think it's been a bit mixed for people, really. Some agents have had sort of a really good Q1, Q2, and others have sort of had a sort of mediocre Q1, Q2. And I think I'm hoping now that kind of with sort of the UK government now in place, right, with all the European elections having been done and all that kind of thing, I'm hoping it'll be a really nice sort of strong end to the year, really. But having said that, having mentioned Christmas, which is far too early, Simona mentioned the C word. It's funny, really, because all the shops have sort of started to get all their Christmas acts together, haven't they? And I'm sort of like, it's not even Halloween yet.
September you had like Halloween stuff, and then somewhere in October or something, end October you had like December stuff and Christmas. Now you get Halloween and Christmas aside, and you're like, okay.
I know. It is sort of one of those things. I kind of tend not to mention it. I think if you start mentioning that, people get a bit itsy and sort of things like that. But it is in people's forefront minds. It's like there is absolutely 0 point in sort of gearing up your activity and then beginning that activity sort of October, because as I say, by then it's too late to do anything with that. Actually, I was Tony, if you're still watching, apologies, mate. I was actually in Malaga. Oops. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was in Malaga. But I was literally there on some personal things. Otherwise, it would have been really good to see you. But I will be over again soon, so I will come and say hello. But yeah, I literally went from Malaga down to Gibraltar and then straight back up again. So yeah, next time I'm in the Costa del Sol or on the Costa del Sol, I will come say hello. It'll be good to have a drink with you. So yeah, yes, definitely, mate. Next time, that would be really, really good. Tony, whilst you're here, actually, are there any questions that you kind of want to ask with regards to kind of websites or XML feeds or social media or anything that kind of we might be able to help you with whilst you're online? I'll let you have a think about that and come back to us. But yeah, Simona, give us some sort of hints and tips around sort of gearing up and prepping up and things like that.
Yeah, so honestly, as I said, kids are back to school. So you kind of have at least 6 hours of guarantee freedom to basically take care of your business. When it comes to real estate and specifically social media, then also the tone has to change. And basically the content has to be mix and match to ensure that you're keeping up with what's going on September, October, and November. So at this point, if you have any properties that haven't sold over the summer, you can do a push on those on Spotlight, Close Up. Let's have a look at this. And then you need to change the hooks and just say, find your home this September. So use September, October, use basically nominate the months. Be in your next home this autumn. So change a bit the posting to reflect autumn, because basically September, October it's autumn, at least in London. November it's already like winter is coming.
It's still summer. It's still summer in Spain.
No, it's not.
I was there and it was like 30 odd degrees. It was lovely.
I woke up to 14 degrees and rain. It's not summer anymore. It's not even. It's plain winter. It's like no. So yeah. Oh, and this reminds me, it's a good way also to emphasize in the next months, because here, at least in UK, we're gonna have miserable weather. So if you're showing like, look, we have sunny, good weather versus aching bones and like low vitamin D, this is when you're gonna go for a viewing, get some sunshine, get a feel of how basically the houses are when it's not peak season and you don't have that as many tourists crowding the place. So you can actually get a feeling on 30 degrees in the shade here today. Oh my God.
Ouch.
I'm so envious right now. Like,
do you know what though? You say you'll be envious, but I don't think you would be, because if you're working, it's a different kettle of fish. right? If you're kind of outside and you're enjoying the weather, it's brilliant. But if you're working in that heat, whew, I think at the end of the day, you just want to jump in the sea. To be honest, I think most
Yeah, but
estate
you have
agents
the
want to throw
seat
their
to
clients
jump
in the
in,
sea.
Chris. So basically, you have the seat to jump in. So, see, that's the perk. Like that's the perks. Yeah.
I
So
was
when
just saying, I was just saying, I think most agents by the end of November probably want to throw their clients in the sea as well.
well,
But there we are. Yeah, I think it is an important point to make that you know, given that a lot of people who are going to start flying out now, there is the sort of messages that you want to be putting out are there is still time to enjoy the sunshine, especially if you're buying in those Mediterranean
yeah,
areas, right? So not just Spain, Crete, for example, has still got really really good weather.
Turkey has
Italy,
good weather as well.
south of France has really good weather. Everywhere kind of has really
Cyprus,
good weather. Exactly. So a lot of the messages that you want to be putting out to people are, firstly, that if you comment on a viewing on a property viewing now, it shows you what the lifestyle would be in a more realistic light, I guess, because there aren't so many tourists around who are only there kind of 1 or 2 weeks,
and a
right?
quieter pace of life, because basically
Exactly. A quieter base of
September,
life.
October, it's when everything goes back to local life. So basically, you're going back
Yeah.
to how it is locally when you don't have the tourists there. So
Yeah.
it's less crowded, and that gives you an idea of what locals prefer to do. Where do you go to do the shopping in peace?
Mm,
Find out the good places to eat. Actually, find out how it is with if someone is relocating for retirement, actually find out the events and community groups, so on and so forth. So you can focus a bit on this. It's more clearer
yeah.
to see. So
If we have anyone else watching, by the way, if we do have anyone else watching and you've got any questions, like any burning questions that you want to ask us, please don't be afraid to ask and leave comments. So.
And I guess from a marketing point of view, September it's also a good month to put up lifestyle posts with the areas and local pics.
Yeah.
So amazing sunshine, beaches, even something related to autumn. If you have like a beautiful landscape that is changing in the area, highlight on this. Local events also highlight on
Mm,
this. So just I think September it's where you shift to promoting at first the lifestyle in that area, and then the location of the house, of course. When you schedule viewings, or if you're recommending someone to come out for viewings, it's also a good idea to give them a heads up. So basically, if you have already marketing materials prepared, like just a short clip of the area,
mm,
you can just promote that or send a private video to them just to highlight a bit how community and the vibe of the place in each season. So this can help with viewing. So basically, if you're letting them know weather forecast and local events, and how the place, like the rhythm of place changes, you can market on this one.
yeah. Yeah, it is getting. I mean, we did a podcast, didn't we, about getting sort of the marketing messages right, and that is really really important. And look, if you're going to post, if you're going to post something about a property and it's still really really good summer days and nice and warm, you might have that property. You might have taken you might have taken that property on in February. Obviously, the hope is that you've sold it by now, but you might have taken that property on in February when it was raining or grey. Go and take some new photos before you post it. Otherwise, people will think it's grey where you are now. You don't want that. So,
Chris, so I had a client today sending me a property to promote, and it's an amazing, amazing property in Spain. Very sunny. It's just one of the images or two of the images from the inside were with a Christmas tree, which is like, it's nice. It's just September.
Don't give the name out.
No. It's just as beautiful as the image is and the inside image is. You need to update a bit for September, for October. So if we are promoting this now at the beginning of fall, I can't actually use last Christmas images for the property.
I mean, it's in a way. I suppose in a way, it does give people an idea of what their property would look like at Christmas. There is an argument here, which was sort of, a lot of people who sort of buy to live, or even buy holiday homes and things like that, there are more and more people who are sort of moving to countries just to spend Christmas time with family. You know, in Spain, for example, there's probably plenty of good examples. But I mean, for me personally, you know, at 5th of September, starting to talk about Christmas already is like, whoa, calm down, slow yourselves. It's just getting new. Just finished the holidays. We got time on that. It's not a problem. So, oh, we've had a comment in from an agent called No Worries, which is great, by the way. If that is genuinely the name, that's awesome. No worries. Trust me, I'm an agent. Brilliant. I'm just starting to work with XML feeds. What are some common errors I should avoid to make sure my feed works properly and helps my SEO? Really, really good question. So in terms of XML feeds and collaborations, presumably you're talking about the XML feeds coming into your website. You have to be with collaborations and XML feeds. Obviously, bear in mind that you're working with other agents. So, firstly, I think the main thing is that you have to trust those other agents that you're working with. It's really, really important that you do that, because it will be difficult to. The last thing that you want to be doing, you know, is chasing up sort of payments and collaboration payments and things like that. So, just be wary about who you're taking XML feeds from. First of all. You can also, if you want to, you can be specific about the types of properties that you take from those other agents. So when you upload your XML feed onto your site, depending on kind of how you're uploading those XML feeds into your website, bear in mind, you don't have to take all the properties that are on there just because they're there. You can have a quick look through, and you can sort of pick the properties you want to go live. So the best way to the best way to do it is to essentially put those properties into draft status first when they come in from the feed. Go into that draft status, and then go into your drafts, and then publish the ones that you want to publish. There are other things that you can do as well. Like you could go in and you could change some of the ref numbers, for example, or you can change some of the descriptions. So one of the things that you have to be wary of as well is agents putting their own descriptions and their own names. Oh, sorry, agents putting their own names within the descriptions. That's one thing that you obviously want to be wary of. You don't want to be promoting someone else's properties and then promoting their names as well, because it's highly likely that that people might just go direct to them instead of inquiring on your website. So again, just look through the descriptions that are being made, and you can edit that out, or you can manually edit those listings. Just be sure that if you do manually edit those listings, that you ask your team or whoever's importing your XML feed to only update like the price, for example. If you don't do that, you might find that the work you're doing then gets overwritten again the next time the feed updates. So that's another one. I know it's difficult, and I get that it's difficult, but for me personally, and Simona, you might agree with me on this, but for me personally, is if you are going to take other people's listings on, and you are going to do that, at least take one day out, go and take a quick drive around of these other agents. Yeah, obviously don't go and knock on the door and say, hey, I'm from this other agent, bang, 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 right? But go and take a drive around just so that you are aware, because if somebody clicks on the collaborative listing and starts asking you questions about sort of the local area, or what does the house, you know, or things about the house, and you don't know because you haven't been there, that does put you at a bit of a disadvantage. It sort of puts you at a bit of a back foot, especially if you're saying that you are the property specialist in the area. Me personally, I'd always want to go and take a quick drive around and know kind of my surroundings, and know the questions you want to answer, those questions that you might have. In terms of SEO, it is a little bit more difficult because with SEO, it's the more kind of listings you have, right, the more stock that you've got, indirectly, it is going to benefit you in terms of SEO. That's partially the reason why a lot of these websites, like A Place in the Sun, Kiero, Rightmove, they all appear quite high in the search results, because they've got the stock and they've got the comparison and they've got all of that kind of stuff which people want. However, the downside to it is that the property that's coming through and the descriptions that are coming through from these other agents, it's not unique content. The way that Google will see it is not unique content, and it's not good for SEO purposes if you have unique content on your site. Google themselves will openly admit that they will prioritize websites where that content was originally found. Okay, so if you've got a load of collaborations coming into your site and you're trying to rank for that content, if that content has been found first on another website, Google will automatically prioritize that first than yours. Hence the reason why I'm saying to you, if you want to change the description a little bit, obviously don't go and write your own description into the house, right? But just be wary of that. If you want to change it a little bit or change something around a little bit, you can do that. But yeah, in terms of helping with your SEO, if you just sit and take the collaborations in directly, it's probably not going to help you much, because it will be seen as duplicated content. What you can do with SEO is basically, instead of trying to SEO the listings that you're getting in collaboratively, try and focus your SEO more towards the listings that you have individually. It's always difficult for these websites, for these agents, where they purely focus on collaborations, and they don't have any listings themselves. And I understand it is difficult, but from an SEO perspective, it's always better to have your own unique content. And that's where blogs and news pieces come in really handy as well, because the news pieces,
with a note to actually update them, because I do see a lot of real estate websites with blog sections that haven't been updated in months. So basically, it works if you do update them on a weekly basis and you make the text SEO friendly. Otherwise, it's just like you're leaving it there and it's not gonna help the site.
Yeah, no, it does, definitely. So yeah, in terms of SEO, just obviously make sure that the more unique it can be, the better. But look, I hope that kind of answers your questions on that point. Really, I hope it does. If anything you want to clarify, obviously let us know. In terms of the reason, here we go. Here we go, Tony. The reason for the name of Come By With Me is that I won the TV show. Oh, did you? Oh, fair enough. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, you were on Come Dine With Me in 2012, and ITV did 2 episodes down here. Oh, great. I was on here. I was on catch up. I think I'm gonna watch that. That'll be quite fun. I think actually I think it's on YouTube as well. Oh, that's awesome. But still, it works, Tony. I think it works for your brand really well. Come By With Me instead of Come Dine With Me. So I'm actually really surprised you got away with that from a copyright point of view. But I guess it's Come By With Me instead of Come Dine With Me, so they can't really do much. And with copyright laws being different wherever you are, but it works. And if it works for you, mate, then that's awesome. So with regards to XML feeds, actually, just make sure that with the feeds they are updated. And I think certainly one of the good things about working with XML feeds and working with collaborations is once you've kind of programmed the feed how you want to program it, it will update automatically anyway, as long as the other agent obviously updates. And with XML feeds, usually you can set them to update kind of as often as you like, as long as your server can handle the capabilities of it. Generally, most agents will update overnight. If you have a WordPress website, it's even easier, because there is a plugin called WP All Import, which has some really good sort of programming features, and you can program the feed how you want it to program. But yeah, as I say, hopefully that's answered all your questions there on that front. So, it's really warm here today. I'm sitting in Denmark, and it's actually really, really warm. I'm really sticky. Like,
the heat on today or not? So no.
I kind of want to get I kind of want to get one of those one of the blow up pools. Not the little ones. I don't want to get. There's no point getting that. I kind of want to get one of the bigger ones and just sit in that with my laptop and work all afternoon. But they haven't made waterproof laptops yet, so I can't.
That's just a marketing image now. See. They sold it so good.
I know. Oh, Tony says I use the same. Oh, you use the same logo and want them to try and stop me. Great publicity. Do you know what? That's true. There is what do you call it? There's no such thing as bad publicity. It's all good publicity, really, and it all helps you. So yeah, all good on that. So yeah, I suppose in terms of marketing, obviously, make sure that your messages are coming out and things like that, and you've got as much as you can, and you're utilizing all the tools that are available to you in order to make it work.
And Chris,
So
it's September, so it's also time to start on a strategy, like
Yeah.
basically have a clear strategy, because there's no point in adjusting a tone if you don't have a main goal. So you have to adjust the strategy, and you take it like every 2 months, September, October, and like November and beginning like first week of December for anything you want to put out there before Christmas. So
Yeah.
at this point, you don't have like a 3 month, kind of a 3 months by the end of the season. So you have to make a push September, October, and half
Yeah.
through November. And then everyone is going to slow down. Everyone is going to quiet down. They are closing. Most of them are closing office 5th of December and disappearing up until the
Yeah.
first week of January.
Yeah.
So this is something that also has to be taken into account when it comes to social media and marketing. You have to have posts going out, and you have to cover also bank holidays and Christmas. Even though everyone is on holiday, including your office, you do have to have posts covering bank holidays or any other holidays out there, because you are on holiday. It's just people are scrolling through Facebook, Instagram all the time, so they need to be prepared.
Okay. Thanks, Tony. I'll talk to you soon, but have a good one. Yeah.
So on this part, put up a strategy that will match September, October for the fall, and then make sure you're covered for December when everyone is off.
Yeah, of course. Just talking about sort of making sure that things are updated. It's quite funny, really, because I think with new build projects, there's always, or certainly from what I see, a lot of agents will put in, it's due to be completed September 20. Let's say, set a date like September 2024,
and they forget about that date in the description.
They forget about it, yeah.
And they're finding the property in January, and it's like, wait, wasn't this supposed to be like completed 2 months ago or something?
It was supposed to be completed 2 months ago. I know, and I think one of the important things on that is and it is difficult, because we all know what developers can be like sometimes. But with that, obviously, if you've said it's going to be completed in 2024, and you're still saying in September 2025 that it is going to be completed in 2024, people are going to wonder, oh, hang on, what's going on with that project, right? Is it still being built? Is it not still being built? So I think the key thing here is also to just, again, check your inventory and your new build stock, and just ensure that it is updated correctly, and is in the right key, the right format on that. And if it isn't built yet, then obviously, if it's still being built, then just change it. It's not difficult to change it. So just change it from due to be complete, due to be completed. Instead of saying due for completion, you can change it to say you just change the date, basically. So it's not difficult to do that. So we're back up to 2 viewers. We were on 4 at one point. I was like, yay! And now we're on 2. So, do say hello. Do let us know that you're here. Any questions that you have, we will be happy to answer your questions as we go. Anything that is real estate related, of course. I mean, even if it isn't real estate related and you just want to say hello, how's your day? Me and Simona would be quite happy to answer those questions as well, considering that the sun's shining for me and it's raining for you. But yeah, I met whilst I was driving back from Gibraltar, I met had some time to just meet up with a couple of clients because they were quite close to where I was. It was good fun yesterday with them. So we had a bit of lunch and then I rushed back to the airport, and it was really funny. And funnily enough, when I took that picture of us, Simona, we'd already got back to the car by the time you said, "Oh, let's grab a video." And I was like, "Oh no, I can't now. I've just said goodbye."
Yeah, but you're sending your marketing manager a photo with clients after
I
you left.
know.
That's like mistake number one. I can't
I
use it
know.
after you.
Well,
I
you
need
can
that.
use it. No, you can happily use it. It'd be good for PPM anyway. But yeah, we're always banging on, aren't we, about sort of videos, and then I go somewhere and I don't take a video. It's like, ooh. But there we are. There we
You
go.
know
What
what?
can you do?
Next time you're leaving, I'm gonna give you with bullet points the marketing materials I need
Yeah,
from you. So basically,
I know. If I have time, I'll do it. I'll happily do it. But I didn't have any time yesterday. Otherwise, I would
Chris,
have done
you're
it.
doing now like every other real estate agent when I'm talking to them about this. And but if we had time, but you know.
I was literally running around yesterday. But no, I know I'll get it done. But we can still use a video to use the images though. In fact, it was funny because Christina basically said, "Yeah, you're lucky you're getting a photo." So I thought that was quite funny. But yeah,
Uh,
I need to be honest. I need to go over and see clients more often actually, and you do as well, which would be good.
Look,
But yeah, they were singing your
regarding
praises. So that's good.
regarding the real estate agents and this part with taking photos or registering themselves or video themselves for social media, I know it's a reluctance on their part to do it. Some of them never spoke on a camera, some of them are not feeling comfortable. The thing is, they need to do it, find a
Yeah,
way of doing video tutorials, even if they are very, very brief.
yeah,
You just need to pop in and say hi sometimes, even a live, like a
yeah,
5 seconds live, just popping in from Costa del Sol to say hi. So that will help a lot. Something that like bonds with the audience once in a while.
yeah,
Because if you're only doing promotional for houses and images and video promotions, at some point they will just get a bit tired. They need
yeah.
like a human connection. They need to put a face. I already said that before. They need to put a face on the business. So yeah, I think we need to find a way for our clients to do that. Like basically AI somehow
Yeah.
manufactured. Um,
Well, we've had a good question. We've had a good question in actually. So here we go, Simona. This one's for you. When it comes to marketing, what are some key tips? Some key tips for creating an effective real estate video tour.
Well, I think effective real estate video tour kind of is, are you going viral and you want it for TikTok, or do you want it for YouTube? Because it's different formats and different way to approach this. So I think on this part,
You
if
will
you're
cover
going,
YouTube. You cover YouTube and Facebook because they're kind of the ones that most real estate agents are going to use anyway in terms of their marketing. So
that's the thing. We need to make a difference first. So on TikTok, everyone is like, real estate agents are doing accounts on TikToks, and then they are starting to promote their properties, and they go, oh, but I don't have that million views or then 10,000 views. And I'm always trying to tell them TikTok is mostly about being personal, video tutorial being personal, like having a person there walking through, like either it's like going himself or someone is filming while going through the video tour. And basically for YouTube, yeah, on YouTube you can have someone filming you while you're talking about the video. So you have two types of videos on YouTube. One is going to be like sole image video tour, simply only the house or the property is promoted in different aspects, and if it's put together to get with captions, that will make a good YouTube video. The other part is where you're actually talking. So you're sitting in the house and you're actually talking, and then you're putting out images of the house. So that's also a good real estate video tour for YouTube. For TikTok, though, the most effective ones are the ones where someone is actually talking or it's walking them through the property. And if you
yeah,
speed it up, because basically on TikTok you can't have like 3 minutes, you have to be as short as possible. So you have to actually speed it up through, like, no matter how slow you are when you're editing it, speed it up, and then you're gonna have a good TikTok video for that. For Facebook and Instagram, it's a mix of both. I would still go for the video tours where a person is talking to the audience, or at least if he's not talking, it's there in the property and it's showing them left and right, and then you can add caption to that video, and that is also video good effective real estate video tour for that. So
Yeah, it's not cheap now to get. Oh, sorry, it's not expensive. It's not cheap. It's not expensive now to buy a little kind of clip-on microphone, right? That you can put just on your shirt. It's not expensive to get one of those.
A
Really good to get one of
microphone, and even when it comes to social media, most like new phones are doing decent like videos.
Buy yourself a gimbal though. If you are going to do real estate video tours, buy yourself a gimbal, because it's like the gimbal basically moves with you. So if you're walking around a house doing a video tour, a gimbal is really good to have, because then it's not like shaky like this as you're kind of walking around.
And that's something I just remember, about this when you're filming, because by now I've watched like thousands of video tours in the last 3 years, and something I've noticed for most of them, if you're one man person and doing the video tour and filming that video tour, whenever you go into a room and into bathrooms, Chris, that is
yes,
like, just try when you're filming, because they're not going to cut. They're always filming from one point to another, so they're not stopping and refilming. So if you're filming and you're not stopping your recording, then when you go into a room, just especially bathrooms and smaller rooms, try to back up with your back while filming, not just turn around in that room. It's always so awkward, and like you're going and you're spinning and it's awkward. So if it's much easier for whoever is filming, it's just, if you go showing into a bathroom, then back and continue filming, and then just slightly turn, instead of just trying to squeeze into a bathroom or a small kitchen. So other than that, honestly, the more real and honest the real estate video tour, so basically the more honest it is, the more viral it's gonna go. You can do amazing professional videos that are like top quality and still be a bit boring, just because no matter how beautiful the house is or the property, if there's not a human presence in there, like put a puppy, put a cat, something, I don't know. Honestly,
get the puppy. No, get the puppy to do the tour.
Borrow a friend's pet and just let it loose in the property while you're filming. So something, honestly, at this point, if we are talking effective real estate videos, as I said, you can have professional ones, joke aside, and it will work fine. If we are talking the ones that will create engagement for social media, then you need to have that factor that is differentiating from. So if it's not borrow your friend's cat, but if it's something like, if you can use like a person, that will be fine. Like someone sitting by the pool, they can be filmed from the back, doesn't matter, you don't have to show their face, just put a presence in that video, that will make it okay.
The more personable you can make it, the better, really. Funny enough, I know you just put. I just need my camera confidence now. It's funny with that. I think there are some agents who are more than happy to be on video. For example, myself and Simona, we've got. I mean, Simona, you're probably a little bit less confident than I am, but. But I'm more than happy to go on video, and if I make a mistake, right, I don't really mind about it. I'll just brush it over. I'll laugh it off. And that kind of works really well, because it sort of gives that human element of it. But there are other agents who sort of are like, oh no, I can't be doing that on camera. I can't be doing that. I think the way you have to look at it is, just imagine that camera to be somebody who you're walking around the property with, right? So imagine that camera is a person, right? If you do it that way, and you try and get in your head that when you're talking to the camera, you're actually talking to an individual, it does become a lot easier. And let's not forget that the only people that are going to view that video is, you're probably going to view it once from an editing point of view, but you're not gonna sit there and consistently view it, right? That would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? If you did that, right? I just need to watch my video. Okay, let me keep watching the video. But
I mean, for Chris, honestly, Yeah, for reels. So for reels, for stories, for shorts, for TikTok videos, those are the same format. You can just be filmed in the property and then sped up. So that's a good video tour. If it's shot properly, quality image without trembling hands, then that should do. So you don't have to actually talk. You can be filmed from behind, just on the side, walking through the property, showing around. So you don't have to actually talk. For the trailers, the incentives, the ones that usually you sponsor or boost on social media, where you say, hey guys, look at this amazing property. This is, I don't know, John from X Properties, and I'm showing you around Italy. Then, yeah, you have to do this 30 seconds intro and you can practice in advance. But for most of the video tours, it's just enough if you're filmed by someone else. So usually, okay, if you're not gonna go with someone to a viewing, just schedule, I don't know, once or twice a month for your highlighted properties or the ones that you want to have exclusive like rights on them. Have someone else filming you, and you can do the videos like that.
Yeah, it's once you've done one, then it's the rest kind of just fall into place really, really well. But the reason why it's successful, I think, is because it builds credibility for one. It shows that you're human, which is a really, really good thing. And don't forget, in this industry that we're in, people buy from people, right? And if they have an idea of who you are, what your personality is, what your mannerisms are, before they come out and see you, it makes that whole process a lot easier. There's also a big trust element in there as well, I think, because of that whole people buy from people thing. If they kind of see you on a kind of video, and you are human on that video, and you are who you are, it doesn't matter if you've made a few mistakes. Obviously, you don't want to say that the price is 200,000 when the price is 250,000, right? but if you make a mistake, for me personally, don't worry about it. You know, move on from it, laugh it off. It shows that there's a human element to you, and that's what's going to make you unique. That's what's going to help you to stand out a little bit. But once you've done one, the rest will fall into place. And even if you don't want to film yourself walking around the property, you can do a quick 30-second intro, and then you can sort of move on with the gimbal as you go around.
And listen,
it's really funny, by the way. This is the thing I find really funny as well. It's when it's when estate agents walk into a kitchen and they go, "This is the kitchen," and you sit there and you go, "Really? Wow!" But everyone does it, and it's really weird how people do it. I don't really think you need to mention the kitchen ever, and say this is the kitchen. But
look,
you might want to do that. But it was just a point. But yeah, I think with this whole video thing is, look, the main thing I would do is imagine it to be somebody that you're walking around the house with, and it does become a little bit easier.
Honestly, there is a way around it as well. Now you can just go and film the video tour, simply film the video tour, and then film yourself in your office, talking about the property, and then just editing, mix those two together. So you can be in front talking about the property and have the video tour behind you. That will work as well. So if you're not comfortable in that property talking, you can film it later on. So you can film yourself later on in your office or at home, talking something about that property on the length of the video. So if the video tour is like 2 minutes, you need to have 2 minutes in which you're talking about that property. And then we can edit that, and it will be a good video tour that as well.
If you're sending out, don't forget that if you're sending out properties on portals and things like that as well, or even on your own website, the videos that you use, you can upload them to YouTube. Yeah. And then you can get hold of the YouTube sharing link, and then you can put that on your XML feeds that go out to the property portals and things like that. So you can take just one video that will work for everything. Obviously, there's different formats for each. One big key tip that I have, Simona, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this yourself. One key tip that I have is, if you are going to walk around with a camera, okay, sorry, not a camera, if you're going to walk around with your mobile phone, all right, try to keep your phone landscape, not portrait, because if you have your phone portrait, normally what happens is some of these video editing software, they are not great at extending to the 16:9 format. They will only ever have this, and you'll have basically black lines like between the two videos, or between your videos. Sorry, so you have your video like this, and then you'll have kind of a black line either side, and it's not. Sorry, it's not a good format. So if you are gonna do it on a mobile, make sure it's
that goes for YouTube video, because most of them TikTok story reels, Pinterest videos are gonna go mobile format, but for YouTube, if you wanna have it longer than shorts, so for shorts it will go as well, but if you wanna have it as a normal YouTube video, then you have to film the same on landscape. So basically keep your camera on landscape mode and film it like that, so you won't have the awkward black lines on the sides.
Most of the time with the gimbal, you can just film it like this, and you can format it, but sometimes you might want to turn it around and film it that way. But obviously once you've done the first one, you'll kind of know which ones you want to do. But again, it does get a little bit complicated when you're trying to do loads of formats and things. But I think the trick with this is, if you've never done it before, is try one, see how it works, and then you kind of know how to edit from there, and then it's relatively straightforward. I don't know if you're still watching, by the way. I don't know your agency name. I mean, if your agency name genuinely is No Worries, right? I think that's a great name, and you don't need to change it. But I don't know. I don't know who you are. It'd be great to know who you are. So please do let us know. And of course, if anyone else is watching, or anyone, I know I have noticed people come and go without even saying hello. But but I'm not going to slate you. Don't worry. Everyone's welcome to show up and just say hello, or to ask any further questions that they've got. So it's really warm here. I'm sticky, and that's like, I don't like feeling like that. You know, when you put your hands together and you just end up like glue. It's bizarre. So it is.
I would honestly say I have wool socks on.
Woolen socks?
I can't survive winter in this country without them. It's like, this is something with real estate, which brings me to a sticky point. Like, if I would sell to British citizen trying to buy anywhere else, I would say, forget your poorly, horribly isolated houses, because basically the houses here are so poorly isolated that basically they don't retain heat.
Yeah.
And just move somewhere where if you warm up your house, it's gonna stay warm.
I know. That's
So,
the thing. I wish I had a pool, actually, and then I could just jump in it. That was the thing when I lived in Spain. When I set the business up in Spain, I lived in Javier, actually, which, if for those of you that know, Javier is like a really, really lovely area. I sort of fell in love with it from day one, I think. Javier, Denia, Calpe, all those kind of areas. The first property I moved into, it was an apartment, but we had like it was like a villa that she transformed into 2 apartments. One that she lived in, and the bottom one I lived in, but she had like a massive private pool. And then the second place I moved into was another apartment, but it was an apartment complex, and they had a pool there as well. And I used to swim every day, like in the summer. It was great. I used to just, when it got like this, I used to just jump out, strip and jump in the pool. It was lovely. But yeah, I don't really get that in Denmark. It's not really it's not really a thing to kind of have a private pool.
I mean,
would be nice.
In most countries, like on Crete and Spain, and not in Portugal, but what I've noticed is like at least Spain and Crete and Cyprus, they do used to have, like, the complexes do have like 1 or 2 communal swimming pools, or most of the villas, the detached or semi-detached one, have at least a small pool. So in countries where the climate is kind of allowing you to enjoy the outdoor throughout the year, you do kind of get the need for a swimming pool, or you see the use for a swimming pool. When you have like 2 weeks of 20 degrees and like 11 months of cold, you get thermal like clothing.
Do you know what? Going back to those video tours, actually, whilst we're on that topic, and whilst we're talking about weather and things like that, is if you are going to go and film an apartment complex, don't just film the apartment. make sure that you film the parts of the complex itself as well, because a lot of the time, sort of when you're marketing that, even though you're marketing that property, if it's on a complex, or it might be on a golf resort, or it might be on a gated complex with security, or an urbanization, or something like that, don't be afraid of going out and taking a little video of the complex itself, especially if there's like a really nice pool, garden, gym, games room, things like that. Because that is part of the property. That is part of the lifestyle that somebody will have if they end up buying that particular place. And a lot of agents mention it. They say, oh, it's got the communal pool, it's got that and the other. But some agents will forget even to take pictures of the communal area. And that is an important aspect, right? It forms part of that person's lifestyle on the resort. So, do go and take some photography. If it's like a golf course or something, you might need to have some permission before you do that. But many of the urbanizations, many of the resorts, wherever you are, will allow for that anyway. Sometimes if you want to take a step above, you might also want to employ or even buy a drone, right? Some of the best photography is actually done using a drone, but
even video tours, I've edited video tours done by drones, so they are quite good. So basically, you can film at least from the above, the surroundings, and some of the property features. If you're filming villas or semi-detached, you can do by drone, and it's going to make your life so much easier.
Yeah, it is, definitely. It is. But look, hopefully that's answered your question on that, and anything else you need, let us know. So yeah,
Chris,
you've been with us.
Just to make a short note of what you said. Yeah, if you're selling a house in a resort, or a house that is meant for retirement, or for people with mobility problem, you need to emphasize that as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Very good point.
Make a difference on your buyers. If they are families with young children, show them properties and highlight on the properties the fact that they are close to school and close to bus stations and easy access to roads. If you are having clients that want to retire and they want to have their grandchildren to visit, show them houses that suit their lifestyle, like townhouses or apartments in complex with communal swimming pool, communal playground, all the on-site facilities that will appeal to them, and market on this point of view. So I think for real estate agents that want to properly market their properties, they can also use on social media these points when they are promoting their properties. So they shouldn't be afraid to say, oh, this house would be suitable for this type of like home buyers.
Yeah, like suitable for families with children.
It might work in their favor. So, okay, you can say flexible living if it's something that has a separate annex or a separate apartment or separate access annex that will be for extended member of family. So you need to emphasize on these characteristics as well, because some of them might be like a large family and they want their parents and kids apart. So yeah, you can market on this as well.
Yeah, you can. Good. All right. Well, we're coming up for the hour mark. It's been good fun, I think. Actually, we've covered some topics, haven't we? We've covered yet again we've covered an hour's worth of content, which is great. And we've had some people pop in and say hello. We've obviously had some questions in, which is really good. So I think we'll end it there for this one. But I think we should do another live one again at some point, because I think it's good fun, and I quite like the fact that we get questions in kind of live and we can answer them live, which is great. So yeah, I think we'll definitely do this again. The episode for next week, the podcast for next week, which will be a normal recording rather than live one. Not sure what that's going to be on, actually. I don't think we
haven't agreed. No,
we haven't agreed. Have we done one particularly on collaborations yet? We haven't, have we? Right, let's do that one in particular. I know that we've covered off a little bit of it here, but there is a little bit more to talk about. So let's do collaborations next week. And yeah, week after, no idea, because I'm going week by week at the moment. So I've really got no clue. But yeah, thanks again to Simona, and thank you to the agents who popped in, said hello, asked questions, commented, and things like that. Again, if you've got anything else you want to know, you can let us know in the comment section. But yeah, do like, follow, subscribe, visit our website. Anything else we can do, let us know. All right. Bye. Bye.